Teen Wolf. I remember seeing this movie when I was 10 years old, and it made me want to be a werewolf because this movie made being a werewolf look cool. I always thought this movie was made after Back to the Future because it was released a month after Back to the Future. Years later, I discovered that this film was made before Back to the Future. And the filmmakers of this film decided to release it after Back to the Future because they figured they kind of knew Back to the Future was going to be a big success, and that was mostly due to Michael J. Fox's enjoyable screen presence. And they figure if it worked in that film, it'll work here. It was a gamble, and it paid off. Teen Wolf was quite a runaway hit. Was it as phenomenal as Back to the Future? Heck no, not even close. Even Michael J. Fox wouldn't consider this one of his better films. Heck, I would think he'd put Back to the Future on a higher pedestal and Teen Wolf, well, the lowest of the low. He plays Scott Howard. Just your average teenager who wishes for bigger and better things and is tired of his just ordinary everyday existence. He plays on his high school basketball team, and well, he's not the worst player, but he's certainly not the best. He has 3 friends. Boof, played by Susan Uricita. I think I said her name right. Well, from what I read in some credits, her name is actually Lisa. But no one ever calls her Lisa in the movie. They all call her Boof, who is totally in love with Scott. And because, she and Scott have a history together. And his other 2 friends is Styles, played by Jerry Levine. Just a fun-loving party guy who's always got something wacky to say. And always wears these shirts with these bizarre sayings on it. If you pay close attention to his shirts, you'll know what I mean. And then there's Lewis, played by Matt Adler, who is just quiet. But Scott's going to discover that his life is anything but ordinary, that he's actually a werewolf. And if you're wondering, did he get bitten by a werewolf? No, it was a family trait because his father, played by James Hampton, is also a werewolf. And why didn't he ever tell Scott? Well, like he says in the film, he thought it would pass him by. So Scott doesn't know what to do. He's confused about this thing that was just put upon him. And then one day during the basketball team, he is huddled around by the other teammates and he wolfs out, and of course, they're all freaked out, but then Scott discovers, being a wolf, everything about you is enhanced. Your senses, your strength, speed, and agility. And it makes him an awesome basketball player. And the teams and the coach is like, oh heck, if he can play basketball so well, who cares if he's a wolf? So then Scott becomes an instant celebrity and so forth. He gets the girl of his dreams, played by Laurie Griffin. Her name is Pamela Wells in the movie. And dealing with her crazy, insane boyfriend, named Mick, and he's played by Mark Arnold. And where does the film go from there? Well, I'm going to give you some minor spoilers away. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this movie before, and I'm sure what I'm about to say is nothing new. Does Scott let it go to his head? Well, in some ways, yeah, but he never differs into becoming a total jerk, and I really like Michael J. Fox's performance as Scott. He kind of shows what every teenagers feel like in life. Kind of almost similar to Marty McFly. I heard they almost wanted to make Scott Howard almost like Jeff Spicoli. Heck, I think they were trying to. This movie was kind of like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but with a werewolf. But Michael J. Fox said, no, let's make him more identifiable, make him more make them more relatable in a way. Rod Daniel, the director, agreed, and so the Spicoli part went on Styles, played by Jerry Levine. Jerry Levine, uh, even to this day, people still would remember him as Styles. They would say, "Hey, Styles!" And Jerry Levine says he's made peace with that. He doesn't care anymore. He's happy to be remembered that way. I gotta say the werewolf makeup is pretty good, although it does look almost similar to Planet of the Apes makeup and less like a typical monster movie werewolf sort of feel. I know what you're probably saying. How can being a werewolf make him suddenly a celebrity? People would be scared of him. Well, this movie is basically saying it's a movie, and if you're not willing to suspend a serious disbelief, then you're probably not going to enjoy this movie. Which I did. It's not horror. It's not a dumbed down parody like Full Moon High. It is satirical, but never to a certain degree. It is. And the basketball scenes are pretty good, and there were some deleted scenes in this movie, like the scene where there's a lot, but the scene I wish didn't get deleted is after the dance that Scott is sitting in the front porch petting his dog Daisy, and his father comes by and he finally decided no more wolf because what happened at the dance. You probably remember he tore Mick's shirt up and felt like Scott now realizing what horrors he's capable of with his powers and how they must be contained. Fox's likability really keeps this movie from fading in obscurity of 80s cheesiness. Even though this is not fondly remembered by Fox, I think he gave a pretty good performance. So did James Hampton as Scott's father. I mean, he reprised the role 2 more times in the animated show and in the sequel, Teen Wolf 2. That's probably why he reprised his role 2 more times, because he probably gained a lot of fan base. And you probably know there was a MTV show. Well, they took some elements from this and put it in that show, but it's completely different. It's more on horror than on light comedy. Susan Uristub, who played Boof, I thought would have a big career. She had a kind of Courtney Cox-like look, girl next door like feel to her, but nope, she kind of disappeared after the 90s. So did Laurie Griffin, who played Pamela. She's a beautiful woman with a very luring smile, and she kind of disappeared too after the 90s. Mark Arnold, who played Nick, kind of went on to be a famed soap actor. Now he's just a character actor in movies, most notably in Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Jerry Levine went on to be a character actor and now is a famous TV director. Matt Adler, who plays Lewis, he acts here and there, but that's about it. So, Teen Wolf was pure enjoyment. I give it an 8 out of 10. Bye-bye.